everyone looks down upon me, and I cannot speak to. No, if I speak to anyone, I will be shamed. So yeah, you can't speak to anyone, and you're not supposed to take notes. Obviously, like you can go on your phone and take notes, but you have to like go in a corner to do it. So that's
like
weird.
Pretend that you're texting.
Exactly, which
you can't
everyone
look
is
like you're a
anyway.
reporter,
So,
basically.
but
Yes.
I'm like standing near Drake, like full phone on, like do. So
Most importantly, Amy, who are you wearing?
It wasn't very. At that point, honestly, I made a quick pit stop at home, and I put on a pair of boots and a full jacket because I was really cold. My feet hurt, and I was like, I don't care. I'm going to the Vanity Fair party, and like, if I need to be really observing, I need my feet to be in their best possible condition.
Absolutely. And Travell, who were you wearing?
That's a good question. I don't know how to pronounce the name of the jumpsuit, but it's sickening, and you can go check it out on Instagram.
You guys need to follow Travell on Instagram during award season because then you can weigh in on his choices.
Yes, you can help me get dressed for the award shows.
Yes,
I do
it's a
polls and
poll
stuff
for
like
each
that.
show, and it is always quite lively, as are the two of you. Thank you so much for joining us. And tell the people where they can find you on social media, please.
On Twitter, I'm at Travell Anderson, and on Instagram, I'm at RAYZHON.
Say that again. It's what?
RAYZHON.
Raison.
Yeah.
And Amy?
Damn, mine's so lame now. It's Amy K in LA.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we are going to talk with film critic Justin Chang and award season analyst Glenn Whipp and hear their take on the Oscars.
Master storyteller Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water is an otherworldly fable set against the backdrop of Cold War-era America circa 1962. In the hidden high-security government laboratory where she works, lonely Eliza, played by Sally Hawkins, is trapped in a life of isolation. Eliza's life is changed forever when she and co-worker Zelda, played by Octavia Spencer, discover a secret, classified experiment. Richard Jenkins, Michael Shannon, Michael Stolbarg, and Doug Jones round out the all-star cast.
No one's ever called him a great mind, but even he manages to hit the can 7% of the time. Excuse us, sir.
No. That's all right. Go ahead. You ladies seem to be chatting enjoyably. Girl talk, no doubt.
Get The Shape of Water on iTunes Movies.
I am now joined by two esteemed, handsome, well-tailored gentlemen.
I am Justin Chang, a friend of Sarah Rodman's and a film critic for The Times.
I'm Glenn Whipp. I cover award season for about 15 more minutes for the Los Angeles Times.
And if you could see him, you would know that he's so happy this is almost over. But it's not over yet. So you guys cover the Oscars from a different perspective than Amy and Travell, who were just with us. You are here in the office, furiously watching and writing. So where were you last night during the show, and what were you doing?
I was in the office. My assignment was to write a story, kind of the road to the Best Picture, how blank won Best Picture. But because this year was so kind of unpredictable, I had to write 3 stories, 1,000-word stories on how Get Out won Best Picture, how 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri won Best Picture, how The Shape of Water won Best Picture. My favorite one was the Get Out one. That was a really good story. And
that will never see the light of day.
Yeah, it was very lively and had a lot to say, but that was deleted, as was the 3 Billboards story, and then we landed on Shape of Water.
You sound so excited about that. You're such a writer. You're like, I wanted the one that I wrote the best story about.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the best story because that would have been a vastly superior outcome.
Oh,
so
Justin's
it's
throwing
no
down already.
surprise. Yeah.
He's ready to complain. I love it. So how well did you do in your predictions overall, since that is your prediction meister?
I did well. But, I mean, every
You're not
year...
giving us a number, though. So how well did you do?
It was 19 out of 24.
Oh, that's great.
Enough for most people to win their Oscar pools. but not every year. I want 24 out of 24. And
Have you never gotten that?
no,
You've never gotten a perfect
It's
score?
hard because of those shorts categories.
So was there a fist pump moment last night for either one of you, divorced from predictions, but just personally where you were like, yes?
Yeah, I was really happy when James Ivory won Best Adapted Screenplay for Call Me By Your Name. Not a surprising choice at all, but, he's James Ivory. His name stands for half of, Merchant Ivory, an entire genre of filmmaking unto itself that has come to prominence through the Academy Awards in large part. So it's kind of amazing and wonderful that he finally won his first Oscar at the age of 89 after 3 directing nominations. I was thrilled to see Mark Bridges win Best Costume Design for Phantom Thread.
And he also won the jet ski.
The jet ski as well. How can we not forget for the shortest speech? Deservedly so. That image of him on, with Helen Mirren, writing, like as one of like Barker's babes or something was very, very funny. A memorable image. So yeah, those were my 2 favorite films of the night of, that were in contention for any prizes. And of course they were just sort of kissed off with, the screenplay is not a lesser prize. It's an important award. I think screenwriters, deserve more respect. That's why I think it was great that James Ivory and Jordan Peele, 2 wonderful representatives of this, 2 vastly different generations of screenwriters, both equally deserving, I think. But overall, there was a curious absence of surprise, I think, throughout this whole season. Gary Oldman, Frances McDormand, Allison Janney, Sam Rockwell, and I mean, maybe it's just that I wished I'd liked those performances better, but even, surprises are nice. Surprises are good. It's good for awards-giving organizations, not just the Academy, but certainly including them, to spread the love a little, to acknowledge that there is more than one right answer, to acknowledge the wealth, the diversity, if you will, of great work being done in this industry, in this medium.
And diversity not meaning the common meaning that we have now,
sure,
but
I
the
think
diversity of talent.
I think diversity
well.
of talent. I think
Of
also
voice.
there's, we did have 4 white winners. I think there's room for diversity of other things as well. I just think there's this very tedious lockstep mentality that's set in this year more than even in previous years. And we've talked about this on the show, but where the 4 acting winners were preordained. Guillermo del Toro was preordained. He's a wonderful director. I don't think there was a more beloved man in that room than Guillermo del Toro that night. You knew he was going to win.
Being talented and lovely, I feel like goes a long way. I mean, he seems so universally beloved.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've interacted with him in interviews, and he's just so nice. I mean, the fact that he participated in that Jimmy Kimmel bit, walking over to the theater.
Terrible.
But as far as the show itself was concerned, other than that particular stunt, which you both clearly did not enjoy, were there things about the show that you thought that you found entertaining?
My fist pump moment was seeing New York Film Critics Circle supporting actress winner Tiffany Haddish talking about some diversity in choices of acting winners. Tiffany Haddish and Maya Rudolph on stage together presenting, because I just interviewed Paul Thomas Anderson a couple of weeks ago and was egging him on to write a movie for Tiffany Haddish and his wife Maya Rudolph. And here they are on stage presenting together. I think we're one step closer
with Anderson
to that movie.
Do you think that you made that happen? That you put that bug in Paul Thomas Anderson's ear?
Well, he has been talking to Tiffany Haddish in this past few weeks. And I said, who would be great with her? Your wife. Mm-hmm. And he was saying, absolutely. And now we have more evidence. You're going to get
producer's credit, I think. Is that what that means, right?
Yeah,
when the movie eventually comes out?
Maybe associate producer, co-producer.
Exactly. So now that we have come to the conclusion, almost, of award season, and it all starts again tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. What are your favorite memories from this award season, or are you just looking forward to it being over?
I love that you're saying, we're going to be talking about the Oscars again tomorrow, because I have to write this story every year. Here are the movies that we'll be talking about at next year's Oscars. So I'm going to be I remember Justin actually emailing you last year saying, how'd you like this
Sundance?
Call Me By Your Name at Sundance?
Yeah.
That sounds like a really good movie. And The Big Sick. We were talking about those 2 movies and Mudbound. I don't know that there was anything at Sundance this year that we'll be talking about.
Yeah,
in 2019.
It's it probably maybe shows my own kind of, because Get Out, I think, had
Get Out
played
had
at
the
that
sneak.
time. I don't know if had I seen Get Out by that point. I'm not sure, but that was also a Sundance movie that then kind of became a sensation but did anyone then even guess that it would be a Best Picture nominee, that it would win Best Original
That was in my
Screenplay?
Get Out, how Get Out won the Oscar story.
That great
was really
story
a
that
good
no one's
read.
ever going to read.
I want to read that story, Glenn. When we're done with this, I want
Yeah,
to
we need to go
me.
upstairs and read that story after this. So, capping things off, people are going to go to the movie theater this weekend. They can see one movie that was highlighted at the Oscars. What movie do you tell them to go see?
Well, I'm going to answer this and also fold this into the question of what was my greatest awards season moment, because they're one and the same. Phantom Thread, which is still in theaters and which I saw on Friday night with my wife at the live orchestra screening. Beautiful, full orchestra performance of Johnny Greenwood's wonderful score, which should have won the Oscar on Sunday night, but didn't. And I think it's important because it's a reminder that at the end of the day, away from all the hoopla and the pomp and tedium of awards season, it really is about the movies. This is a masterpiece that I saw for the third time, and it was just as great as it was the first time, even better. And it was a celebration of cinema. It was not us, no shade to Netflix. Well, maybe a little shade to Netflix. We went out, on kind of a cold night with, 1,600 other people to see this live event and to have our attention just held by this movie for 2 hours. It was just extraordinary, and it gives me the energy to dive back in tomorrow if I must. Maybe I'll take a few days reprieve, but it's like there is something to know that it's not cheesy of me to say. It's I believe in the movies. I really, really do. It's what gives, and I think we all do. I think it gives us the stamina to keep going.
I don't know if it's because I'm tired, but that was beautiful. Top that, Glenn.
Well, I was at that same screening.
Yes, Glenn was there.
In the same row as Justin, and it was my third time seeing Phantom Thread as well. And what was remarkable, because there was this live orchestra in the Ace Hotel Theater, was that I forgot often that the orchestra was there. I got so enveloped in that movie again. Mm-hmm. And it was weird. And then I went, oh, yeah, there's this orchestra playing live. But I was so into the movie that I forgot all about that. And then, for me, I spend 6 months with these movies and these filmmakers. And the great thing about this year is that I genuinely like the people. Mm-hmm. Because you run into them time and time again. Greta Gerwig, Jordan Peele, Paul Thomas Anderson, and these are great people to spend a few months with. And it's not always the case.
Yes. When we can get good and good together, good filmmakers and good people, then we all win. Well, thanks, you guys, for talking about the magic of the movies with us. Please tell the people where they can find you on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at Justin C. Chang.
And you can find me at Glenn Whip.
That's where we're at. Thank you so much for listening to The Real. Please go to Apple Podcasts or wherever you find your favorite listening and download us. Rate, review us. We really enjoy feedback. So until next time, I'm Sarah Rodman.
To get these and many other award-nominated films, go to iTunes.com/Oscars.